And I'd gone to seminars and I'd seen motivational speakers, which, by the way, I'm not. I like to consider myself more of an inspirational speaker. We're in New Jersey. I can motivate you to do anything I want with $100. Right? And that will go for about a day. But if I inspire you, you could inspire a nation. You could inspire a generation. This is my buddy Joe that we talked about earlier. And for those of you who are not from New Jersey, that's our former governor, Christy Whitman. Joe grew up in Linden, and he used to always come over to my house because I used to practice my English with him. Believe it or not, English is my second language. Spanish is my first. So I used to practice my English with him. He would come over to my house and practice his Spanish with my mom and with me, and I used to interpret for him. So we had we had great friendship going up. For years, we were great friends, but he never invited me to his house. I was like, that's weird. But I didn't think much of it. About 5 years later, we were like 15. Finally, he invites me to his house one day. And we go into his house, and we walk in, and his parents are sitting there watching TV. And he goes up to him, and he starts to sign. And he goes, "This is my friend Eddy." And I was like, whoa, like, your parents are deaf? They were deaf. I never knew. He never spoke about it. A minute later, we go in the kitchen, and we go to get something to drink. And I said to him, "Joe, you never told me," I'm whispering, right? Like they could hear me. I said, "Joe, you never told me your parents are deaf." And I said, "How long have they been deaf?" And his father in the other room says to me, he goes, "All my life." Now, if you don't know deaf people, they can't hear their own voice, so they sound a little bit funny. And, so he goes, "All my life." And I'm standing there, and I look at him, and I look at Joe, and I'm like, "Oh, I thought you said he was deaf." And Joe goes, "Yeah, but he can read your lips." I was like, oh, got it. Got it. At 15, in that moment, it was just a rush. And I figured it out. Two things happened to me that day that changed my life. Number one, I told Joe, "You will never interpret for me again." And that day, I started to learn how to sign because I didn't like being on the other side. Yes, you're very happy. I did not like to have to depend on him. But number two, which was the most important thing of all, was that in that instant, I realized that we just hear with our ears, but we listen with our eyes and with our mind and with our heart. It took a deaf person, somebody who had never heard a sound, teach me how to listen. I got it. Where is he? There he is. Right? So we're talking about attitude. And I'd gone to seminars and I'd seen motivational speakers, which, by the way, I'm not. I like to consider myself more of an inspirational speaker.